everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I'm here to talk about all the books that I read last week. So, I didn't read a ton of books, but I feel like I got clarification on an author I've been kind of iffy on. So, let's just get into the books. As always, I'm going to tell you about the couple middle grade that I read with my kids, and then we will get into the adult books. So, my kids and I are in the middle of the Stella Diaz series, and this is just a really sweet series about a girl named Stella who is from Mexico. She's first generation American. In fact, they're not citizens yet, and she just is kind of in the in-between. She doesn't feel really American, but she doesn't feel really Mexican. She's not great at all things English, but she's not fluent really in Spanish either, and so she's just kind of in the middle there, and she has a passion for ocean life, and so she is trying to save oceans, trying to start agendas and initiatives. And the things I love about these books are, one, they're really wholesome, easy reads. They're short chapters, and they have a mixture of English and Spanish, but it's in a way that I feel like anybody could pick it up. And the Spanish is either like, they'll say something in Spanish and she'll be like, my mom was telling me this, or it's enough that you can deduce what it means. My 7-year-old, I keep asking her, so what do you think that means? And she has gotten everyone. So it's not hard, but it introduces them to Spanish. It also introduces them to the use of plastics and all that kind of stuff and what that does to our ocean. So I am really enjoying these books. They do come on audio as well, and so we read 2 this week. They're longer books. They're maybe 200 pages ish, and so they're longer books. But we went to a Royals game this week, and so we were able to listen on the way there and back and knock out 2 of these. So definitely loving this series. I think it's currently 5 books, and these are number 2 and 3. So then for our adult reads, this is the one that I think made the nail in the coffin for old Carly Fortune and me. So I read everything except One Golden Summer. I gave this, what is it? The first one, not Meet Me at the Lake. Maybe Meet Me at the Lake. The one that was like Love in Other Words. I gave that like a strong 3.5 star, maybe 4 star. And I really enjoyed it. Not nearly as much as Love in Other Words. But then this summer, or the next, I don't know. All of her titles I feel like are so similar. Maybe not, but one I gave 4 star, one I gave 3 star, and then this one's a 2 star. So this is about a woman named Lucy, and she, in the beginning, we get a prologue of her going to Prince Edward Island to meet her best friend. They're going to stay there together for a week or whatever, and her friend is late, and so she has this one-night stand with this oyster shucker, and come to find out it's her best friend's little brother. How did she not know? I'm not really sure how that all worked out, but whatever. Now, it follows them every year, and they're like forbidden romance, basically, because her friend had 3 rules, like eat as much oysters as you can, leave the city behind, and don't fall in love with my brother. So it's a forbidden romance, and it's very lusty and very like just, I don't know, summer after summer, we're watching them lust after each other and say, oh, but we can't do this. And it just, I don't know, like I liked some of the things. So Lucy really likes their family and feels very at home in their family in a way that she never did in her own family. And, you know, they're just kind of that like Leave It to Beaver kind of family. And so I really could relate to that. Like I couldn't relate to that necessarily in that I just could see the appeal of that. And I think this would have been a really good book if it weren't for the fact that we're supposed to be like shipping a just lust-filled relationship that I felt no chemistry. It didn't really like either of the characters. And yeah, so I think Carly Fortune and I are done. Then we have Where Yesterday Lives by Karen Kingsbury. So this is a drama, a Christian fiction drama, family drama, about a family all coming back together after the father in the family has died. Hold on. If you can hear, my daughter is bouncing a ball directly next to me, so it's probably really obnoxious. Okay, sorry about that. So this is family drama about 5 siblings coming back together after their father has died. And their father was like the glue of the family. He was the life of the party. He was everything, everything to this family. And he also had a history of heart disease and smoking and diabetes and a lot of health concerns. So while his death was sudden and unexpected, it also kind of wasn't unexpected because, he had heart surgeries. He had a lot of warnings from his doctors that he ignored, all the things. But anyway, the family is coming together, and this is basically just a family drama. We mainly follow two of the sisters, so it's 4 girls and then 1 boy. And the 2 girls we follow are Ellen and Jane, I believe. And Ellen is a journalist, and she is kind of her father's, like her and her dad were very, very close. Her and her husband, on the other hand, are kind of having a drifting marriage, where things are just, they're not supporting each other in the way they should. They're not there for each other in the ways they should be. Their connection is kind of lost, all of that. So she says, hey, let's go back for a week for my dad's funeral. And he's like, no, I'm not coming. So she goes back, and her first love is there. And so she's really kind of wanting, just seeking comfort. And so she is spending time with this guy, and she's really, the Holy Spirit is really playing on her, telling her, this is not good. This is dangerous. It's all innocent as far as there's no cheating, emotional or otherwise. She's very aware of what's going on, and the Holy Spirit just is continually in her ear. And so there's that. But then there's also the resentment between Ellen and Jane. Jane is very resentful of Ellen because she feels like Ellen has always had an easy life, and the relationship with her dad was different, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of drama there. Jane is an awful, awful, awful character. And I feel like with Christian fiction, oftentimes it gets a bad rap that it's cheesy, it's kind of over the top, and Karen Kingsbury, I think, typically does a pretty good job of not making it that way. And in this book, I feel like some of the times it was not that way, and some of the times it really was. And I feel like the kind of character arcs felt inauthentic, felt a little like Karen Kingsbury does love to put like God-ordained miracles in her books, and short of that, like the characters don't make sense. So there is a part in the end when all 5 children are asked to speak and give eulogies for their dad, and it got me teared up for sure, because I was just thinking about my own dad and my own kids and all of the things. It was really emotional. So I was connected to this family, but not the most authentic characters. So there's that. And then last is one you've seen me talk about in my June book haul revisit, The Art of Losing Yourself by Katie Ganchert. In the off chance you did not see that, this is following 2 sisters who are estranged. One is Gracie. She is a teenager, and she is living with her alcoholic mother, and until one day she's like, I've had enough, I'm out. Grace is kind of a rebel, and so she is just kind of doing her own thing. Then we've got Carmen, who is a TV meteorologist, and her husband are struggling with infertility, and they're going through the adoption process. And she kind of has a mental break where, she's a public figure. So then there's the cancellation that happens, all that kind of stuff. And then their 2 paths intertwine, and both women are forced to face history with themselves, history with their faith, all of that. This is another Christian fiction, and Gracie meets this guy who is a football player. She's very anti-football player because, she's very much not like other girls. She is a rebel, all that kind of stuff. And so she meets this football player who is also a very strong Christian, and they have a friendship that kind of turns to more, but not really. And definitely I like books like these because they give me my YA fix without being an actual YA book. Because then Carmen, I really could relate to her in the infertility stuff, the tolls that's taking on her marriage, and they both kind of bond over their aunt's inn. It's a beachside inn or whatever that has become run down, and they want to fix it back up. So there's that. There is also trigger warning for dementia in here, and it's heavy. But the book, my complaint about this book, I'm giving it 3 stars because at times the plot was very slow. The chapters are really short. So again, another book with short chapters. That's a huge win for me. But the plot gets a little slow, and then at the end, there's like a near-death situation where it's this huge thing, but then it ends, and so much is unresolved. Like, we know what happens to the characters as far as if anybody lives or dies. That's not what I mean. But the fertility thing is not really come to a head. The stuff with Gracie is not really none of it has really. All the plot points were started and then just left hanging, and in a way that felt like immature writing, not like it was intentional or like I left me wanting more. No, it was like you wrote half a book and then you just stopped. And so Katie Gancher, she's another author I'm not sure is for me. So she wrote No One Ever Asked, and I liked it, but I felt like it had a heavy agenda. And this one did not feel as heavy in the agenda. But again, the Christian revelations where they find faith felt inauthentic at times. And so, I don't know, take that for what it is. Again, I'm kind of a skeptic. Christian fiction, I really want it to feel authentic, and everybody's journey is so different that this definitely could be authentic. It just, I don't know. That's kind of my complaint, obviously, in these two books. So maybe it's a me problem. So that's everything that I read in the last week. Let me know what you have read and if you've read any of these books. Currently, I'm reading The Summer List by Amy Mason Doan. So this is a story about two friends who have become estranged. We don't really know why. They were best friends, and one of their moms is like an extreme Christian who is very, 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 very strict, doesn't allow her to do a whole lot. And I'm not loving the way Christianity is portrayed in this. She doesn't seem like that extreme of a Christian mother. Like, she's not like not letting her drive, not letting her go out, not letting her do things. She is letting her do everything, I think. And so I don't like the way Christianity is. This is not a Christian fiction, and I don't like the way Christianity is being portrayed. But the other one has a mother who was raised by really strict parents. She's a young mother, and so this mother is very permissive. And so they spend a lot of time at that person's house, of course. And that mother has made them but scavenger hunts kind of every weekend. And so it's something just to keep them occupied. The other girl's parents think that it's wholesome. It's not. Spoiler alert. But anyway, something happens. We don't know what that tears the two girls apart. And now they're 35, and we're getting like their summer pass. And I definitely feel like a lot of summertime nostalgia for my teenage years. And they have a skate like an ice skating thing that they go to, and one of them has a romance with one of the boys there, and this just feels very teen summer vibes. But the present day chapters aren't that great, and the characters, like, I feel like aren't that developed. Like, I don't feel like we know them as adults, and I think that may be done intentionally. I'm not really sure where this is going. I do have a guess from very early on. I have a guess of what it is that tore them apart, and if I'm right, I'm going to be annoyed that I spent the whole book reading, because this isn't my favorite at all. It's not keeping me super interested. However, I am continuing to read because I want to know if I'm right about what happened between them. And yeah, it's kind of getting seedy about halfway through. It's kind of getting dark, and it's an interesting book tonally, and I don't know. It's okay. So, and then my kids and I are reading the next Stella Diaz. So that's everything now. Thank you again for watching. We'll see you in the next one.